Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's Report.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Warden Report. I don't know why I got really southern there, but oh, I feel like this is really bouncing around. Hold on one second, let me do this. Maybe that's better. I think part of it there, it was still connected to the charging cable and yeah, those things. Anyhow, this is the Warden Report. So if you're new here, every week I just talk about whatever hits my mind, whatever's going on in my life. You might get to see some cook along like last week. Dang, y'all, I made an incredible dinner for Heath and I for our date night. And I just had y'all cook along with me. So you kind of see that. I don't do like a hard and fast recipe, but you could write it down. And with that, if you do see something on a little cook along I do and you're like, ooh, can you do a recipe? Please make sure you comment so I know, oh, okay, people really like that in the HungryHorde and want a standalone recipe video. So always, please just let us know. We try to do that. Like we've gotten that on our lives. A lot of people will be like, man, like I don't want to sit through a 4-hour live. You know, can you do a recipe? So we're slowly doing that with our live recipes. And then I also just rant or discuss whatever's on my mind, whatever's going on in the keto carnivore community, my life, my thoughts, things I noticed, that kind of thing. And so, you know, just follow along. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth or what I'm going to film next. And then this week, I mean, I'm so excited, y'all. So, I've got my coffee, the Warden. That's my name. That's why it's called the Warden Report. I'm the Warden. That's what Heath nicknamed me. I enjoy it. I'll take it. I'll take it. So, I am sort of breaking my fast, I guess you would say. I'm breaking it with some fat. So, in this cup of coffee, I have... Let me do that. I have about a tablespoon of butter and a couple tablespoons of heavy cream, and that's Samson. And so that's what I'm technically breaking my fast with. It's about 1:15. So if you're following, so I've been doing some more fasting, and this is what I have noticed, y'all. So I realized I basically started doing more fast, I would say dedicated fasting April 1st. I mean, like, what are the coincidences? Because I didn't plan on it being like that. I'm not one of those that are like, oh, on Monday or on the 1st or on the new year, I'm going to start such and such. When I decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to do something, I just do it. But I noticed going back through my tracking, I was like, oh, I started actually April 1st, like, dink. Anyhow, so here it is. I guess you would say technically 6 weeks in of doing more dedicated fast. Again, I feel like a lot of times I was doing a lot of intermittent fasting, you know, anywhere from 13 to 18 hours naturally. But I started doing some longer fasts. So either doing alternate day, which is like 36 hours. But honestly, the way that plans, like 36 hours would have been when I woke up today at like 7:30. I ain't going to be eating at 7:30. Like my body is not awake. Like my mind might be awake, but my stomach and everything else is like, don't give me something. So that'd be really hard. So most of the time it was in the 40-hour mark just because that logistically made more sense. I've never been a morning person. And I mean that in every freaking way. I don't like getting up early, but you know, the world requires it. So the rest of me is just like, let's no, I'm not going to be one of these that showers in the morning. I'm not going to exercise in the morning. I'm not going to eat in the morning. It's just not my thing. And prior to keto, like I used to make myself eat breakfast because it's like the most important meal. And then, and I just didn't care. And then once I learned, oh, you don't have to eat breakfast, I was like, oh, thank you. Because I never have been a breakfast person. Like I enjoy breakfast foods, but I've never been somebody that like the first thing I want to do when I wake up is eat. Like, give me some time. And so, yeah, so I've been doing that. And I've also, according to Mindy Pell's, like, you know, during the first 10 days of your cycle, really hitting those long extended fasts. So haven't gotten to 72 hours, but I got to, I think, 68 the other day. So doing that kind of stuff and just talking to you about it. One of the things I have noticed, like after the 36-hour mark, I would say, because 24 hours is basically at 7 p.m. at night, so I can't really go by that. But like at the 36-hour, like when I woke up this morning, I've been so full of energy, and like I don't even finish my coffee. I know, like that seems just wrong, right? I know Shauna's with me. She's like, what? You're not finishing coffee? But I've noticed the longer that I've been fasting, not the length of fast, I'm saying the time that has passed that I have started fasting. Because like I tried to look up some stuff, and it's like if you put longer fat or how long you've been fasting, they're thinking, oh, 72, you know, whatever hours. And it's like, no, I'm saying what happens when someone has fasted consistently over a certain time period. So at this point, going on 6 weeks of practicing more dedicated fasting and more longer, like 36, okay, let's just say 40 hours or 60 plus hour fast, how am I doing after this time, right? Of doing that now for 6 weeks. And I'm finding some really good results. So again, like the energy, like when I wake up, after the 24 hours, when I wake up the next morning, I am so energetic. Like and they do talk about, you know, when you're doing these extended fasts that, you know, sometimes it's good to, you know, do some kind of aerobic exercise or something like that to really bump up the stuff. But I could see that because I definitely have the energy. So it's just amazing to have that part. The mental clarity, oh my gosh, you guys, mental clarity is amazing. Like I just so sharp and in tune with everything, which with the job that I do, it's so, because I work basically in finance, right? And so I really have to pay attention to numbers and all. I need that mental clarity. And then the other things I have noticed is it is really helping my gut. Like, if y'all have been following for any length of time, there was a period where I was like, oh, I don't think I could ever have cruciferous vegetables again because, you know, cabbage or Brussels sprouts, like I would get bloated. I would immediately gain water weight for a week or so, and it would just take forever to get it off. I think I've healed that. So we had cabbage Tuesday night, no impact on the scale, and no bloated feeling at all. So, and I contribute that, again, not just to fasting, but also I am making strives to get in prebiotics and probiotics. So like using the kefir, doing the kimchi, ginger, garlic, all those different things, getting that in my system. And I think it really is helping my gut. So to see that cabbage did not have an adverse reaction to me, I think that's a good sign. So again, that's why I focus on the health aspects. So I'm not going to go in about, oh, how much weight have you lost, Shelly? Or, you know, what's the scale? Or what's your inch loss? Or all that. I'm not going to go into that. I mean, it does help in that areas. But again, my main focus is my gut. So I'm looking for how is my gut reacting now? And so trying different things like Brussels sprouts and cabbage and how am I reacting, that's letting me know, okay, you're on the right path here. And then the other thing just like occurred to me last night, I've always had like brittle nails, like they easily will chip or bend, right? You know, you get there and you just bend that nail. I noticed yesterday because I thought, oh, did I break a nail? No, my nail is like so freaking strong. So I thought that was very interesting that my nails are getting stronger and actually growing pretty good too. So I was, it's just these little things that you notice, right? That it's like, wow, okay, these little steps, because I've been keto for 4 years, right? And I've done carnivore and different things. And, you know, I'm not saying there's anything against any of that. I mean, I'm still keto. I will be keto as long as I'm a healthy individual and it gives me the health effects. That's how long I'm going to be keto, because that's my goal. But just noticing these other things, and I don't want to say that, you know, fasting is for everyone, because I know some people, it mentally, it might be a struggle for you, or it could be, you know, physically, you can't actually fast, extended fast. I mean, we all fast when we sleep, right? So let me put that out there. Everybody fasts when you sleep. So that's why it's called breakfast, your first meal, because you're breaking your fast. So everybody fasts typically at least 7-8 hours, and that's if you take a bite of food and go right to sleep, and then you get an 8-hour bed rest, and then you wake up and the first thing you do is put some food in your mouth. I mean, at least you got 8 hours in there. But everybody does fast, right? I'm speaking in regards to doing like longer fasts, like 16, 18, 24, so on. Not everybody can physically do that, and that's fine. And there are actually, especially if you're a woman, please check out Mindy Pell's, because there are certain times, if you're a cycling woman, so if you still are getting your cycle, there are certain times you should not be fasting. So please check her out, especially if you find that it's not a mental thing. You're like, oh, my body just can't handle fasting. When are you doing it? So just check that out, because that could be the issue. You know, definitely make sure you're doing it in line with your cycle. And she does a really good job of explaining, okay, this is when the optimal... Did you hear that? This is the optimal time to fast, right? So, just putting that out there. Noticing these little things like that. I'm excited. I'm enjoying this. And I think it really is showing that my body just needed this resting time. And like Dr. Funk says, it's like my body was like, oh, you've got all this stuff in freezer or refrigerator storage. So you know, it's time we take that out. So I'm just glad about that. So I've rambled on 13 minutes now. I'm sure y'all are like, okay, get to the point, Shelly. So, breaking with fat. So, somebody I listened to today, they were like, oh, I always like to break my fast with a fat, because then that really hypes up the ketones and gets that autophagy really rolling until you finally actually spike the insulin, right? Because I love the autophagy features of fasting, so that's another benefit. So I'm going to do this, and pretty soon I am going to have my kefir. So I have like a cup of unsweetened organic kefir. Have that. Shout out to Renee, because she looked up the brand and she was like, hey, Shelly, did you know there's a coupon? I was like, what? So I applied for that coupon. I'm always looking for coupons. Sometimes I forget to check the company's website, so thank y'all. Or if you ever see a good coupon for something that I've used, please let me know. So yeah, gonna do that, and then I'll make some lunch. Let's see, it's almost 1:30. One of my coworkers just went to lunch, so I'll probably be taking my actual lunch around 2. and then we'll have dinner tonight around 5-ish. So I think that's good. Like they say, try to, you know, eat within a certain time period. So I think that'll be good. And I do enjoy actually eating our dinner at 5. Isn't that weird? I used to think that was so early, but now I actually look forward to it. Does that mean I'm getting old, y'all? Be honest. All right. Thank y'all. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Love y'all. And I'll show you some more coming up. All right, y'all. I had my kefir. So what I've got here is 4 Pernell sausage. I've got 3 olives stuffed with garlic, some kimchi, some of my pickled ginger, some spicy pickles. I got some yogurt. This is the Fage 5%, our homemade spicy mayo, and then my last cup of coffee, which had a tablespoon of butter and about 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. And then, of course, I topped it with some seasoning. I make my own pumpkin spice. And I did pour over the grease, too, from the sausage. But you can't see it because, look at this plate. It's loaded up. Thursday night dinner. Guess what? It's kind of a repeat from Thursday. So we've got corned beef. Here, we just got such a good deal, so we're eating that up. I put several tablespoons of our homemade spicy mustard on top. Our spicy mayo. And then I've got our pickled ginger. And then I did some cabbage. I just sauteed it in the juices. And then with that, I topped with some butter, as you see. And then this is 1 jalapeno cut in half, stuffed with the queso that Heath made. And so that'll be dinner. I think this was about 8 ounces of the corned beef. And you see I'm using the lunch plate still. I reuse plates, y'all. So if we use a plate for lunch, I'm probably going to use it again for dinner. Does anybody else do that? Or is that just like crazy? Like, no, wash the dishes. You're gross. That's what we've been doing, y'all. We just reuse plates. And, of course, I've got my 1877. It's just sparkling water. And, of course, my regular water. And that'll be my dinner tonight. I'm excited. Well, it's taken about 1.5 years since we got him. But he finally destroyed his first toy. And I think he's quite proud of himself. He's been working on this for a couple of days. And he finally got it. So I wonder if he will continue the killing spree, or if he'll just enjoy the one for a while. What do y'all think? Friday lunch. So I'm breaking my fast at about 20 hours. I think it's 20 hours and some odd minutes. But I've got 4 Pernell sausage with a little bit of that Love chamois. A couple olives, some pickled ginger, some of that kimchi, some pepperoni. He'd got some, so I had to have some. A little bit more of my Fage yogurt. And then to dip it all in, there's the homemade mayo. And then, of course, I've got a cup of coffee that has a tablespoon of butter and some heavy cream. Saturday date night with this handsome man. Like, he got that big sexy. For the big sexy. That's right. I'm having the keto carbonara. So that's I think it's shirataki noodles. We got some asparagus and broccoli and then chicken. And then I always ask for a side of the carbonara sauce, because it's really good. Now, he did tell me this time that they'll probably charge me for it. Last time they didn't, but oh well, you know how things are. But look at how good that chicken looks. So excited. Basically, this is our first meal of the day. Well, mine of the day. I had a little bit when we did a taster earlier for our cook-along for this month, but this is officially my first meal of the day. Whenever Dad is eating, he waits right there, like, I just want to be out so I can watch Dad eat and beg. I'm really good at begging now. You can see he's totally neglected. Aren't you? Aren't you neglected? Yes, I'm just so neglected. Look at me. I'm so skinny. I'm just so skinny. I'm just so skinny. I need all the food. So I always know when Heath is eating. Happy Monday. So I am breaking my fast. I didn't have anything on Sunday. Today I'm breaking it. It's almost 3. Electricity's gone off once already. But we have the rest of the no sketty. And I topped it with some parm. And then on the side here, I've got the kimchi and our pickled ginger. And then also my coffee with the little butter in it. And I did have some of my kefir about 30 minutes ago. And that's my lunch today. Whoa. So I'm having this after my lunch. And this recipe will be coming out next month. But it is a channel member recipe for May. It's a sweet little dessert. Look how good that looks. Yum. Monday night dinner. So recently, I've been fasting on Mondays, but when he decided to smoke a brisket last night, he did an overnight brisket, just so we could have a practice run for when we cook all of them for the barbecue meetup. I was like, I can't fast another day. I gotta eat this stuff. So, look at this brisket, y'all. This is the fatty. The fatty is my favorite part. Comment below, are you moist or lean brisket? Fatty brisket or lean brisket? But look, that's how freaking tender this is. As it is just, oh, wow. Wow. Well done, Heath. Well done. Looks amazing. Got a beautiful smoke ring on it. And he just did this overnight and a little bit of burnt ends here. Oh my gosh. Looks so good. And then on the side, I have some Brussels sprouts because he got it. Like if you bought a bag of the Brussels sprouts, you got a container of mushrooms for free. So we did that. And then, of course, I've got some pickled ginger and pickles as well. And that is dinner tonight. I am so excited. Well, that ends the Warden report for another week. Thank y'all for tuning in. I am just outside. Kind of see Heath there playing on his phone. Who would have guessed, right? And so, yeah, that wraps up the week. Not much going on today. Today's Tuesday. I am fasting today, so that's why you didn't see anything like food-wise for today. And then I'll just continue. And I think I'm going to fast till Thursday. We'll see. But I'm not even at 24 hours yesterday because we had that brisket last night. Oh, so good, y'all. So excited. But yeah, that's it. So just hanging out here for a couple of minutes while the dogs go use the restroom and you hear the neighbors. And, oh yeah, there they, oh, good boy. Aw, so sweet. So let me know how your week was. What's been going on with you? If you're doing any fasting besides, I would say everybody fasts when they have, when they're sleeping. But if you're doing any type of longer fast, 15, 16, 18, let me know. I'm just curious, see where everybody's at. So just let me know. And let's see, the word for the week, let's do barbecue. So you put BBQ or you can spell it out. Either way is fine. But thank you all so much again for watching, and I'll talk to you next week.